What's up, guys and girls? So, I'm actually going to make this into a series, but I think I'm going to title it Perks of College. Now, this time I'm going to be talking about college food. Now, basically, you start off college and you're like, wow, there's so much food compared to high school. Like, you got like 6 or 7 different stations if you're going to like a big school at your cafeteria. And then on top of that, like at my school, they just installed a buffet section, a buffet, like legitimate area in our school. And like literally that buffet alone has like 7 or 8 stations. You know, you got the Italian station, you got the foreigner station where they switch it up every week, Chinese food this week, you know, taco night the next week, and so forth. And so you start off loving the food here, but what always happens by probably halfway into the year, the first year, everyone's sick of the food. Everyone's gotten the full rotation already. Despite there being a lot of choices, you got the buffet can only cycle through so many different things as with the diner food, and it's like I'm getting kind of sick of this. It's the same with everything in life. I mean, there's a limited amount, like 60 items is still just 60 items, and that's what happens with everything in life. So I think the biggest thing though is that in certain ways for me, you gotta learn to appreciate it, because once you graduate, I mean, some people, possibly myself, go all the way back down. They downgrade to freaking ramen noodles every day for lunch and dinner, or just mac and cheese. And then you're gonna start missing the cafeteria food. I mean, it's like, sure, the wraps and the sandwiches at the cafeteria stations get pretty darn boring after a while, but it's just sure a lot better than ramen every day. Now, okay, you may not be like me. You may have it good after college. Let's say your parents support you, or you just have a job and you can pay for good food. But what if you're a grad student? What if you are not so well off? Well, then that's another problem. But granted, it's really subjective. But for me personally, I can't cook well. I can't cook at all. Maybe when I have time one day I'll learn. Probably not. So I'm sort of married to a lot of food that's already prepared. And therefore, you know what, I'm probably going to miss it. Despite it sounding astounding, probably going to miss it when I graduate. When, you know what, while I was eating this food, it was like, it's the same thing. So it's crazy how that sort of happens. And I don't know. Until I can make enough to eat whatever I want, that's going to be another problem. But you know, once I graduate, I'm just going to work it through, and I'm going to just keep making excuse that it's going to be healthier for me, that I'm eating, you know, this cheap food anyways. The problem though is that the food that's cheap isn't always healthy anyways. Like, I'm not even talking McDonald's. I'm talking like freaking, you know, homemade dinners from your family that was bought and made with groceries at the store. Like, sure, it's sometimes healthy, but it's not exactly like a perfect meal, like a salad and then like fruits and everything that you can legitimately get at the cafeteria in college. But at the same time, who actually does get that stuff in college? The rare person, the rare student athlete. So, two sides to a coin. But for me personally, you know what? I think I do better for the most part. Not always, definitely not always. Sometimes I splurge, but sometimes I do fairly well in terms of healthy eating. I cover all bases: fruits, vegetables, meat. Not so much fruits anymore. But yeah, that's just me. But then there's also people who by junior year they've gotten off the dining plan and they buy their own food from the grocery stores and make it themselves at college, or they just live off ramen. For me personally, at my state university, everyone's on a dining plan, or they're making their own food, but no one really, you know, eats simply ramen or like boxes of macaroni. So that's an anomaly. Anyhow, I'll see you guys later in my next video. Peace.